Hey guys, BigSquareRoadRoad.com with your Jenny Moonstone reading for December 31st, 2020. This is part one. It's great. Part two is great, and part three is going to be great. As usual, but part one, we're going to talk about, since it is December 31st, 2020, the very last day of year zero, we're going to go into move into year one tomorrow. Actually, it's tomorrow. I'm sitting here on January 1st, recording this because I did the session yesterday with Jenny. Amazing stuff. I mean, by the way, her website is down right now, but you can get in touch with her at, I will put her email address below this video. You can get in touch with her directly or go to Jenny Moonstone, jennymoonstone.com, and I think it might be back up and running to schedule a reading. Unbelievable readings. Everybody I know who's got one has said, holy crap. She's in touch with something, man. It's crazy. But we're going to talk about Trump. Is he going to win? Is he going to lose? Listen to what she says on that. We're going to talk about the good guys, the bad guys, Q, and then specific dates. January 11th. Keep an eye on January 11th. And for the financial system, probably early February, end of January. I'll get to that later in part 2 or 3. But also we get into XRP because it's kind of on my mind these days. And her take, the spiritual take on XRP. And amazingly, we were in the line again. So anyway, here we go with Jenny Moonstone.
Anywho, let's jump on into it because there's a lot.
Okay. So you were saying you saw some crazy shit coming down the pike before we got digitally disconnected. What's going on?
So my view on this here is that, well, as you know, the political spectrum is just kind of a reflection anyways. It's not the whole picture. It's just like a symptomatic, like a result of something that's taking place in the root, right? And so when we talk about the inauguration and what's going to happen with all of that, I have this feeling, it's not a good feeling, that we may all have to experience that collective shock and that boom, where we are essentially forced kind of like to the precipice of a massive, literally what I saw was people's heads being held and then things like being shoved into like their orifices, like information and like light and substances. And it was a very traumatic and painful experience for people. But I kept getting, it's the only way. It's the only way. It's the only way. And so it's upsetting because we don't want that. But if you think about historically how human beings learn, we have to be shaken down. Mm-hmm. Do you know what I mean? Sometimes that's what it takes, is for people to look around and realize that they are about to lose everything before they do something about it. So I think we are looking at some semblance of what we could call civil war. And I think that will vary, like pocket to pocket, community to community. Some places will be just fine and other places won't. So I just wanted to throw that out there because this is the last day of 2020 and tomorrow we're going to wake up and it's like, oh, hello, 2021. It's going to be a bright new world.
Everything's, yeah. You didn't get that sunshine card, huh?
Well, here's the thing. It's all a means to an end. Like right. It is all, no matter how far I look in the timelines, we're not defeated. We win. We win. It's just the question is, what does that road look like? How does this manifest? And it's not going to be glittery, easy walk in the park. This is like, there will be pain. There will be people that literally feel like they're being strangled and pressed into a corner. Because that's what's required, you know. And I'm not trying to scare people. I'm never I'm not a doom and gloom person. I always like to look at the bright side. But this is going to get a whole lot more difficult before it gets better. Sorry.
No, I think, I had always thought that. Because I live in Northern California, the heart of liberal city, literally. I'm 5 miles away from Berkeley. I have no idea how these people will react to their beloved Joe Biden not becoming president, or things going smoothly, or which I think might happen between now and the 20th is a lot of these revelations about how much we've been lied to. To the horrifying fact of the even the pedophilia stuff and child sacrifice stuff, and how much are the good guys and Trump going to release of the information so that people can wake up? Or is it, that's my problem with Trump, and I do have a problem with him, is that I know what he's doing. I know why he's doing it. I don't like the fact that he leaves this stuff hidden and takes care of business behind the scenes. And I think my problem personally is that because I live in a democratic, liberal cocoon, literally, I'm way behind enemy lines here. I can't talk to people. And it just blows my mind that they don't see all these ballots coming out from under a desk being shoved into a counter over and over and over again, and they don't think that's anything. And it's hard as a patriot and someone who believes in the Q movement and Trump to sit here knowing the whole time that we got things under control, but at the same time knowing how the hell are these people ever going to wake up without the shock and awe of some truth.
So just as you're talking, so I did bring out the good old Thoth deck. Okay, this is a heavy duty deck. I felt that it was appropriate for the end of the year to bring out the big guns. And the Ace of Swords. Okay, here's my interpretation of that, is that it has to cut people so deeply in such a shock and awe is part of their process. For those of us that knew the questions to ask leading up till this point, for us it's been more of a slow drip, kind of more comfortable, if you will, ride to current circumstances. We understand because we've been at this a while. Now there remains in the populace a substantial portion of people that the only way that they're jolted into this is by a knife, essentially, by a very severe cutting method. And I think that while I'm with you, because we really want Trump to back us up, we're looking at him like, dude, we're out here, we're in the trenches, help us out, just release it. It will be released, but all at once. And it will feel like the entire country has just been, through some horrible kind of collision is what it feels like to me. And it will bring everything, I feel like it will bring everything to a bit of a screeching halt is what it feels like.
And do you see this happening before the 20th?
Yes, absolutely. January 6th, I tried to make it so that I could get up there, but I can't, and I'm not going to fight it because I feel like everything is, plays out as it should, and I can't find anybody to watch my daughter, and I'm not bringing her. You know what I mean?
Right,
Because who knows what's going to happen. But I do believe that January 6th, these big rallies in the Capitol, I think that's the day that we physically show our force and we show our numbers. And at that point, from the 6th, I believe, to the 11th, for some reason, the 11th of January really stands out to me. It's like if I were to zoom out and then I look at the chronological time, the calendar, certain dates glow. They have a luminescence to them. And the 11th is
Wow.
it's a very interesting energy on the 11th. So we're going to see what happens. It's a big day. Actually, let me pull a card and see what it's about. To me, it is about the revelation and like how that information comes out, but it's actually 1:11 right now.
Yeah. Oh, time.
Just noticed that.
Nice.
Yeah. So
Yes. So January.
I think it's actually
January 11th is going to be what? 1-1-1-2-0-2-1.
Oh, you're frozen.
Oh yeah, you're frozen. All right, we're doing well.
Come back, Fix, please.
I hear you just fine, and your face isn't looking too funny in the frozen recording right now. There, you're back.
I know. It's all very. I'm because I'm crying. I'm like, oh my god.
No, but okay. So it's 1-1-1-2-0-2-1. As far as that date.
Yeah.
I'm sure that has some Illuminati meeting or something.
It does. And so I want to show you here because I wanted to clarify what that might have been about. And I have the 4 of Pentacles. Okay. And so what this feels to me, my prediction is that this is some kind of a seizure of power and assets. Frozen. Something is frozen in time. I don't know if that's money. I don't know if that's businesses, but something is taken back by our side.
That's interesting because
I'll wait for it to pass.
I have been. No, you're all right. It's all good. I'm hearing you, and you freeze every once in a while, but it's all good. But the freezing of assets, the remote viewer guys about a year ago talked about the death of the dollar, and it doesn't happen over time. It's literally computers clicking together, and all of a sudden everything just stops because you got computer algorithms fighting each other in that computer world, and that machine is locked up and cannot go forward.
Sure.
And if we're narrowing that down to the 11th, I'm like, oh Jesus, that's quick.
Well, and then think about how much needs to get done between now and Inauguration Day. I mean, they're gonna have to rally. A lot of things are gonna happen here, and it's interesting you mention, the financial assets, because to me, the 4 of Pentacles, especially where it meets the Ace of Swords, which is a very abrupt, like it's the combination of air and earth. Okay, so that's where communications meets money, meets physical stuff, physical assets. And then those two things come together and it's like, no, you don't. Stop. We stop right here. Now, in terms of like child trafficking, which we know is kind of the Achilles heel of the whole system, I think that it's at that point. Epstein has been making the rounds again. Lynn Wood, he's a really interesting person to follow on Twitter. He's been leading some of the legal stuff with the fraud. He mentioned just today, Epstein is still alive. He's like, ask him. Go ask Epstein. So I think the 11th of January, we're going to see a whole bunch of things just frozen in time. And people are going to be like, what happened? Now, of course, there are going to be people that are not even looking. You've got folks that you could show them evidence right in their faces, and they're like, I don't even see it. Those people are on another playing field. They're in a completely different quantum field than we are, and they have their own karma to deal with. But as for you, me, and everybody else, we're in it. We're in the fight, and we're like, okay, what comes next? And if you were to ask me what to do, I say kill them all. I say kill them all. Have you seen Starship Troopers?
I think I did like years. It's an old movie, isn't it?
Yeah, it's the best movie ever. It's like my favorite movie.
Right.
It's like pretty much, it's how I model like the future. It's the Federation. You know what I mean? It's like,
I'll have to check it out. All right. It's on the list.
All right. Amazing stuff. We'll see. The beauty of short-term intuition and predictions is, the answers right away. So within a month, we'll see how much of this we get right, we get wrong. Whatever it is going to be different, obviously. I mean, we're trying to look out into the future and perceive how everybody's going to take this. That's the funny thing is like everybody will have a different perception of what is going on. But definitely we're coming in. Year one's going to be a double doozy. If you thought year 0 was a doozy, year 1 will be a double doozy. And we get into something that I've been talking about. I said I dropped, but I haven't dropped it yet. It's the XRP new quantum financial system. So many people got suckered into this. I tried to stop them. I'm not saying that it won't go up. What I am saying, it's the bad guys' solution, and I think the good guys will win. If you think that XRP and the quantum financial system that is going to save the day is going to happen, you are betting on the bad guys winning. That's my take from a banker perspective. So we get into that, and Jenny doesn't know anything about XRP other than when she reads those cards, she gets really dark energy. And she gives a good take on what she thinks is going to happen. So here we go. And this is the second half of part 1.
So I'm sure you've got some stuff you'd like to focus on here.
I do. I want to talk about 2021 and how it relates to some of the things that Road to Ruta customers and followers. I've been in my little battles lately. I don't know if you're aware, but I've been fighting some a cryptocurrency known as XRP. That I don't know if you know about that one at all, but they say it's related to the quantum financial system, and I'm like, no. These are bad people doing bad things. I think we're all getting hoodwinked. So I want to. No, not we all. I've been screaming about this one for 3 years now. That these are bad people. It's a horrible situation that these guys, but they're sucking in so many innocent people who don't understand finance, who don't understand the banking system, and they're sinking all their money into it. Bang, it gets destroyed, down like 80% or something, and everybody's mad at me because I was warning them. Right. And so I've been fighting that battle for a while now. So I guess I want to ask a couple questions about XRP. Also, there's a Ripple Corporation and stuff like that.
XRP Ripple. Okay, so it's so interesting because it was brought to my attention by a few folks in my general, vicinity, people that I know, people in my network, that the current announcements made about XRP are what they're going to call classic misdirection, and that they are trying to paint XRP as some kind of a force so that normies will not invest. They're like, no, this is only for people with eyes to see. This is only for the super smart that know what's going on behind the scenes. I don't like XRP. I've looked at all of these systems individually and collectively, and again, I am not one of you in the sense that I don't understand like the nuts and bolts mechanisms of it. I work with energy. I understand energy. And XRP has never given me that womp, womp, womp glow that Theta has, for example. So it's always been meh. So, but I have people that also fight with me, and they're like, no, XRP is where it's at. And I'm like, don't come for me. Like, I don't know. It's not that I don't know. I feel very strongly about it, as a matter of fact, but I'm not going to argue with you about it. You know what I mean?
I am. That's what I've been doing for 3 days. I was with JC. JC's a fan of it. Okay. Snippy's a fan of it. And I'm like, they don't come from the banking world. Right. And so they don't they're like, oh, it's 3D chess. This is what they're doing to get everybody out. And I'm saying, no, this is bullshit. This is a game that they're playing. If you think these three guys who invented XRP are going to take over where the World Bank and the Federal Reserve System and the SWIFT system left off, you guys are smoking some very serious stuff, because I don't think it will happen. And so what I want to get from you is, will XRP resurrect from the ashes and be this shining light for the quantum financial system that a lot of these people are saying?
Okay. So we were talking about seizures and the 11th. So we have double aces and the 4 of pentacles. All of these energies bump heads. So the Four of Pentacles energy has this is a very uncomfortable place for aces to be, because it's just not, it appears to have the outward expression of growth and renewal. But the Four of Pentacles tells me no. Somebody is holding on very tightly to what looks like the original plan, is what I'm getting. So there was a plan when they first came up with this, created this. They're not deviating at all. But with the double aces, it looks like they're trying to give it like a facelift, and they're trying to present it as being the next big thing. I can't deviate. And believe me, I have a lot of people that try to convince me. Like, I had people that are like, oh, it's no skin off my back. If you don't want to get rich, fine. And I'm like, I don't like it. I'm sorry, but I don't like it. Stop trying to convince me. I don't like it. So let me see here. I
had an overall take on this. I do believe they'll resurrect it. It'll go a little while, and then everybody will lose everything. But for me, for my soul, it doesn't resonate at all with me. As a matter of fact, knowing what I know about the financial system and what they're trying to replace, I know that this is not going anywhere. And it's hard for me, being in this business for so long, to watch these people who are very naive when it comes to banking and how the system works, to buy into it and say, oh my God, you're not going to get rich off XRP. And I tell them, hey, do what you want. Your soul has a lesson to learn while you're here. That might be the lesson. There's so many other better places to put your money if you're looking for an investment opportunity than a get rich quick scheme that you don't even understand.
This is so controlled, Bix. This is so controlled. The Ace of Cups and the Ace of Swords, those two kind of cancel each other out. A lot of these energies cancel each other out. So what this feels to me like is it's almost a sophisticated type of manipulation, because we have the Queen of Cups, the Death card, and the Emperor. So the Emperor is actually the major arcana counterpart of the Four of Pentacles. Is all about control and traditional structures of finances. Like, it's the banks. Sorry, I see here my
it froze briefly, but we got everything you said. We're
okay, good. I think that this is the time when people's emotions are easily, like, to me, this is about timing. People aren't getting paid. People are out of work. People can't pay their bills. So then here comes this control structure, the Emperor, not our friend. Nothing about, the Emperor is zero about progression and expansion. The Emperor holds on to what he can. He is all about the sort of archaic structures, right? And then we have the Queen of Cups and the Death card. Queen of Cups right now is everybody's emotional and psychic vulnerability. People are just thirsty for something different. But the Death card tells me that this whole thing, Scorpionic energy, it's just not what it seems. And I think that this is going to hit a wall. Okay? So there's a smoke screen here. Ace of Cups. Oh, like it's so attractive. It's so attractive. This is the time. This is it. This is it. And I even see people like looking at each other, and I'm like, we're so advanced. We're so lucky to see this. But it's the Emperor. The Emperor doesn't care. It's not new. This isn't progressive. This is old that looks like the new. Now you've got a lot more guts than me, because I don't feel strong enough to fight with people about anything like regarding finances. I stick to what I know, which is energy. Mm-hmm.
It makes sense. And to me, knowing what I do about banking, I come from it from the other end. Mm-hmm. And they say, oh, this is an amazing invention. I said, no, it's not. This is not an amazing invention. It is a planned event, but it's also going against the people that have control. They're trying to say that you're taking control back, which you really aren't. You do not have control with XRP. You don't own it. A tiny bit of XRP is owned by the people. The rest are controlled by these same bankers who are trying to hide assets, hide what they're doing. And it's all about deception.
Listen, there is no mistake. There's no accident. 78 cards, Vix, and I pull 6 on our situation, and 2 out of the 6 are the same ones that come up for this January event that I'm talking about, the seizure of assets and this screeching halt. So they're potentially related, but it makes a lot of sense if you consider the possibility that the money realm is very much going to come into focus before the inauguration, because that's where they're trafficking, the trafficking and the laundering and big pharma, like it's all rooted in money in these archaic structures. Mm-hmm. So
okay.
One thing I just had to mention here, I was kind of, I wouldn't say attacked, that's a very strong word, but it was brought to my attention aggressively, the whole XRP thing, because I was talking about Theta and how I love Theta. I'm like proud of myself because I was, I called it, you know what I mean? I called it right. And I saw things getting better. And I just saw this dark horse energy, which is very positive. And then at that point they were like, Theta's okay. Theta's a winner too, but XRP is the one. And I'm like,
they're very upset right now at that because, obviously Theta's up 40 times this year, 40x move, and XRP has just dropped from $80 down to $20. So,
they're going to low-key blame you and blame me and act like because we're putting it out there that we're like making it happen.
Because I've been talking about this for probably 4 years now, that this is not something I will ever get involved in. You make your own decisions, but I will never do it. It doesn't resonate with me. I know the banking system. I know what they're trying to do behind the scenes. This is not good for humanity. And I've always been screaming that. And people think I'm jumping up and down because the SEC went after them and the price crashed. I'm not jumping up and down. I think it's sad that people got suckered into it.
Yeah. Let me see something here. I think I just want to look at the real face because we know what the mask looks like with XRP. We see that. I want to see what's behind the mask, the true face of XRP. It's so controlled with the 4 of Pentacles. There's nothing free. I think they try to sell it as like you can get in on this and this is an expansive sort of collective group effort. Theta looks like more of a collective group effort where people's consciousness, they can get in on it and grow it and it becomes something bigger. XRP is like, we'll tell them that it's like that. But really, this has four walls. It's the cube. It is the cube, the black cube of control. Yeah, 4 again. The true face, the 4s again having everything to do with the emperor. Archaic, outdated structures, the original banking system. And 4 of Swords, I want you to see it says truce. This is the original agreement. What did I say? They're sticking to the plan. Not your plan, not my plan, their plan. Mm-hmm. This is all theater. This is all like strategically released. I feel like I'm going to get attacked now. I don't really care.
But you go from your gut and what you're an expert at. That's what I do too. Mine's on the banking side. I know exactly what they're trying to do. You know what they're trying to do from a spiritual side. But we're just putting this out there because people have asked us to help them out to understand what's going on. I think that's our job, and we're doing a great job at it. You can make your investments if you'd like. And I told Jean-Claude that, and he's invested in XRP, and I'm going to buy the dip. And I go, okay. For my soul, it does not resonate, and I have learned over the years to trust my gut on these types of things because, and there is I call it a morality in investing. But yeah, when I don't think it's right, it's usually there's a reason for me not to get involved.
Certainly. And I also want to just bring to the, on the more numerological front, the next after the 4 is the 5. So with the 4s, we're looking at this very contained structure. But when we hit the 5, which is the inevitable next step, 5s are discord. 5s are struggle, suffering. It's very problematic. We don't want to be anywhere near a 5. So to me, I'm just kind of like, this may be a lull period right now where folks are looking around and they're like, no, like this is good. This is a good time. This is the right thing to do. But there's an inevitable like sort of switch in that, and everybody that's drawn into it, it's like you said, I feel the same way. If you feel guided to go that route, you really should, because that's just what you're supposed to go through, right? But let I tell people, just take it all in, release what doesn't resonate for you and hold on to what does. So if, we can only do what we can do, right?
Well, there you go. There's the first part of the Jenny Moonstone reading from New Year's, basically the New Year's Eve day. I would like to point out that I misspoke on the price of XRP going from $80 down to $20. It was actually 80 cents down to 20 cents. Just to clarify that before you XRP people jump down my throat. I think it's really interesting. My overall read on her take on what's going on in January. January 6th, obviously, is the day the electors are going to be chosen or not chosen by Congress. I do not think they will. I think the chaos, and that's a Thursday. Friday, they'll rig the markets the best they can. And then Monday is the 11th. And I think we could be looking at that freeze up of the monetary system then. And stretching out, obviously, it won't be a one-time event type of thing. I would think it's like everything freezes up, and then they say, okay, all the curbs are put in, and then they try to start up again and start and stop, and chaos basically for the next 6 months or so, or more. We might have a time when we don't know the price of cryptos. They might slam the cryptos down to a penny a piece. I wouldn't sell it. That's why you hold them in your own possession. And it won't last for long. And then can we even value things in dollars if the bankers crash and all that stuff? Basically, I would say it's clear from this reading that January is the start of the financial collapse. And what kind of form it takes? Is it hyperinflationary? Is it just a ceasing and stopping like the crypto viewing guys saw? Everything just kind of freezes. And that's what Jenny was talking about. That's more likely, in my opinion. That way they can reallocate assets as they see fit, probably by Social Security balances, not by the quantum financial system. I think that was another con played on humanity along with XRP. But that's my take. Place your bets, folks. Place your bets. This is BigSquareRoadRunner.com. I'll talk to you later.